Hey guys, welcome back to Compound. As always, I'm joined by Charlie. I'm going to go over the last couple of races. It's been a bit boring the last couple, so we thought we'd do one big video and kind of go over the state of F1 at the moment and how the championship's kind of playing out. So Charlie, should we start
Yes.
with what's happened recently? America Land. Thoughts?
America, Circuit of the Americas. Um, I'm so disappointed that Mercedes didn't just match Red Bull
Yeah.
and just go for like, okay, right, they're pitting early, let's both pit early. Because it seems that no matter what Mercedes do at the moment in terms of the strategy, okay, barring when they jumped ahead of Lando because of the rain, they just don't seem to be getting the right strategy, whereas Red Bull seem to be absolutely nailing it, even though Red Bull are doing a pit stop that's like nearly twice as long as they would normally take. They're still absolutely smashing it.
Initially, I thought it was a one-stopper. Yet when I was watching, I was like, okay, it's a one-stopper. That's what Max is. Okay, oh, Max is now pit. Like, I was looking at the situation. I was thinking, in my head, this was a one-stopper. I think quite a lot of teams thought it was a one-stopper.
No,
Mercedes,
they did go into the weekend saying that because it got hotter and hotter and hotter, it was becoming an obvious two-stop race once the race started. There were worries about it raining beforehand because I was scrolling through TikTok and there was a guy that was there and said that it started to drizzle, and this was a couple of hours before the start of the race, and at that point he started doing like updates every 15 minutes to say what was happening with the weather, and in the end it cleared up.
They had raining at the end of quali. I was a
Yeah.
couple of people at the laps in. It was raining just on the pit straight. So, but yeah, America. I thought it was nice, and I enjoyed the opening of the race. I liked the McLaren Ferrari battle. It was quite interesting. Actually, had a bit of flavour to it rather than just the cars go and then no overtakes kind of happen, and then Max and Lewis pull away from the pack like other weeks. It had a little bit of spice at the beginning.
It was nice to see actually there was quite a different there was quite a few battles going on kind of throughout the race, with Ferrari and McLaren both going for that third place in the constructors. That was a good battle. I'm glad Lewis got ahead to begin with because it kind of meant that the race was going to be a bit more interesting. It's just a shame that the pass ended up being while he's in the pits, which is always just a little bit more boring, but at least there's something to watch.
At least the championship's still kind of kicking on. It's not, you haven't got Hamilton. I know Max has now increased his lead, but you haven't got Hamilton kind of running away with it. Or Max is still easily catchable from Hamilton. You kind of want to see, I'm happy with two go Max, two go Lewis, and kind of it not just go, oh, Max is now 7 races ahead, because when that happens,
it's over.
Not only does it affect but it's the championship is kind of over, but then the strategy changes in the races.
Yeah, because then you just go safe every time.
People aren't trying to win races for the sake of winning. They're not trying to hit. They'll go for personal milestones at that point. But then also, you don't see people like Bottas randomly will start getting pushed heavily because they can get more points for constructors, and it all kind of the way it plays out.
Mentioning Bottas there, you've got to say in terms of the second drivers in the team, Perez absolutely smashed it this weekend. Knowing that Bottas had a penalty, another engine penalty, which means we're likely to see Lewis get another engine penalty before the end with only 5 races to go, so that could play massively into Max's hands. But Perez smashed it all weekend long. We've sat here and spoken about him during race pace and said how good he's been on a Sunday, but he'd always been let down on the Saturday. But this weekend, put it on P3 on the grid, finished third, decent haul of points, put pressure on Hamilton because meant that Hamilton couldn't stay out super long, otherwise he'd get jumped by Perez as well. So Hamilton couldn't move it to try and be a one-stop race. And we've seen
This is what Red Bull wanted.
We've seen it so many times the other way, where Max is just stuck because he's between a rock and a hard place in Lewis and Bottas. And this time, Christian Horner must have been loving it when he looked at that and thought, great, Bottas is further down. He struggles to get past people because of the fact that Mercedes doesn't like following people, which we saw when Lewis got within a second or two of Max right at the end, because he got behind him and he probably was doing quicker laps, and he probably in like a one-shot lap would have been the quicker driver at that time in the race, but couldn't get past. And next year, this is what makes it more exciting for next year, is that we should actually see those overtakes happen when races go right to the wire, whereas at the moment I think we all kind of sat there going, okay, great, it'd be lovely if there was a lovely little battle right at the end, but you kind of know track position is king at the moment with F1, and unless you've got such a massive advantage, you're not going to get past. They were talking about how, he's gaining 0.4 of a second every lap, and then at the same time they're saying, you need to be 1.5 seconds quicker to actually make a move. It's like, well, he's not going to get past him then, is he?
I think you hit the nail on the head with this Sergio Perez. The strategy, you were saying the strategy earlier, Mercedes didn't know what they kind of were wrong. Well, I think Perez messed up their strategy, because their strategy is basically, right, we deal with Max at the front, how are we going to work around Max? Because Perez, not through its own fault, but some situations he's not been getting up there on the Saturday. He gets there in the end of Sunday, but Mercedes probably wouldn't have factored in what if Sergio comes out and we're now battling 2 Red Bulls at the front. The majority of their strategy, because it has worked for them, it's right, how do we use to get around Max and make Lewis win? But they now have the pressure of, oh, we can get around Max, but then we'd let Perez through, or we can't do that because Perez will then put a pressure on Hamilton, so we'll lose his tyres more. It's the Perez factor is what I think enabled Max to get the win in a really weird way, because Mercedes' strategy team,
they have to cover off Perez as well.
They have prepared for. I'm not saying they haven't prepared, but what they have done is they've gone right. We don't normally take that into account because they know Perez will probably be midfield and then push up towards the end. Because that's, if you did forecasting, it's normally midfield Perez pushes to a higher up, or last place Perez pushes into the points. Like that's kind of to 10 places kind of goes.
Bottas is normally 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.